Go!
All right, we're going right into it. It's Mr.E. This versus JohnNumbers.
Good. We're good. Sorry, I had a little bit of a water malfunction, but we're going in. We got Mr.E versus a Mr. JohnNumbers.
Yup. Game one
right.
going to be Smashville. Coming in hot on the mic, you got Hangman, you got Nintunist.
Wow, how's it going, everybody? Let's we're already getting started here. Let's see how this is going.
So this is a match we see fairly often for Xeno. At some point or another, we always see Mr.E run into JohnNumbers. And as of recent, Mr.E's been making this matchup look really nice. We've seen the Lucina come out a lot more than the Marth. I feel like that might have a bit to do with it. As a whole, Mr.E has been having a lot more of a grounded suppression state. He'll hold that ledge really nicely. He'll make John immediately retreat to the ledge, which is where he's normally comfortable. But as a whole, things have just been a bit more difficult for John. We'll see if he's able to bring things back tonight.
Now, I'm not Mr.E. I'm not a player of that caliber, so I don't know his logic behind like picking Lucina in this matchup over Marth. But I would imagine that like with a character, or should I even dare say a player as not campy, but like as patient as JohnNumbers, I would assume that maybe he thinks that spacing doesn't exactly matter, and misses the tech, but is actually able to make it back regardless. I think he would assume that spacing wouldn't exactly matter, and in the instances where he actually is able to get in on John, he's just going to need that raw power. So that's my logic behind the Lucina pick, but that might not be true at all. He has just been picking Lucina a lot more often than anything else, but John is still not dead, and just as I say that, we are going to take the first stock with an up B, I believe, out of shield. Good stuff to Mr.E.
Yup. And the sound logic behind that it is Lucina having a bit more of the raw damage compared to the raw knockback balance across the Falchion compared to the focus on tippers. Certainly helps with Mr.E in a pinch because he knows he's going to be able to get the execution right. But if he's ever so slightly spaced off, he's going to get punished for that. So we see a lot more of these juggle states, a lot more of these pushing towards the ledges, a lot more frequently and a lot more forcefully from Mr.E. Already forcing John deep off stage, but he's going to be coming back.
Yeah, edge guarding JohnNumbers as he does take the stock right there. Edge guarding JohnNumbers is absolutely no easy task. I've talked to this man about like how his about his play style and his mentality throughout many different times, and he says that this character, and this is a direct quote from JohnNumbers, lives off the level. Just lives off the level, and like I would imagine that he has to do that to a certain extent with what, in his words, is a bottom 5 character. So yeah, it's all about if Mr.E is going to be able to actually land those edge guards and just pick the right options when John is just playing off the level like he is right now. So right now we got Mr.E at a solid 26%, not even an ounce of rage yet, versus JohnNumbers 107%. If he's able to actually get in on him and space properly with maybe like an F smash or just hook him with an up smash or something, if he's able to actually get him in an instance where John actually is on stage, then we might be seeing Mr.E take the first game.
Yeah, it's looking like things might likely fall into E's favor. However, it's not unlike John to be able to reverse a situation like this. He's sitting at 120 and counting, and I say that in counting now because even though he's going to go tit for tat for damage with Mr.E, he's going to be healing it ever so slightly as well. That might be a factor throughout the set, but it's not going to be for game one as it falls safely into Mr.E's hands.
Yeah, very good stuff to Mr.E. Just outplaying, outmaneuvering, bobbing and weaving, splitting the defense like a football player, you know, like, oh, let's go Birds, you know, sure. Sport ball.
The sport ball, he gold the point, and they're going back to the same field.
Yeah, JohnNumbers hoping to get on that same very scoreboard here, running it right back to Smashville. Same character, same picks. Let's get into it.
I don't particularly feel like this is the best of picks from John. I would have expected the Town and City pick. However, I guess avoiding any of Mr.E's other picks as well as giving him a stage he could be even more comfortable with. I could see the pick, but at the same time, we've already seen that Mr.E has no issue with controlling the base platform as well as taking advantage of the moving Smashville platform during this stage.
Yeah, it might just be a comfort pick for John because I kind of agree with what you're saying about Smashville. I feel like in terms of like, you know, Smashville does have the lowest horizontal blast zones of the legal stages in this game. So I would be a little bit afraid of moves such as Lucina's back air if I were John. That is like one disadvantage I would say that he does have on this stage, but I'm not him. He probably knows what he's doing more than me. It might just be a comfort pick for him, or maybe he has some other rationale for it. I don't know. Maybe he feels like his play style of just like getting all the assets that Wii Fit needs, just like camping the ledge as long as he needs to. Doesn't really matter what stage he's on, and that might be why he's still electing to just run it right back to Smashville.
Yeah, no matter what stage these two pick, it's going to have a ledge, and John's going to want to find his way to it. Right now, things start slowing down once again, with the percentages staying very close by. But Mr.E is staying on the hunt. He's not giving John any time to gather his resources. He already has his Sun Salutation wearing off. He's got a full charge I'm sorry, the deep breathing having worn off and Sun Salutation still sitting there charged.
Oh my god, he's going deep for that one. I feel like maybe Mr.E probably knew that, I feel like he probably knew that, like, JohnNumbers was probably going to throw out a volleyball there because, like, if he didn't, I'm not sure if he would have been able to make it back because that was really, really deep. But I could be wrong about that as that up air does take the first stock. First stock going, of course, to JohnNumbers.
And immediately to the opposite side of the ledge he goes to see if he can force some sort of instance out of E. He's going to be able to build some decent damage, and falling there is going to be catching E time and time again.
I thought that was going to be a down air. I 100% thought that was going to be a down air. I was pretty afraid as that back air does take the stock. sitting at a not too bad 66% against John right now, who just respawned with 0%. This ain't looking too dominant for either of these guys right now. Of course, the percent lead is in that of JohnNumbers. If he's able to just tack on a little bit more, maybe another Sun Salutation, possibly a back air if he's able to space it right, will take out Mr.E right now. But right now, it's not really looking too dominant for either of these guys right now. Mr.E slowly tacking on damage, slowly bringing it back, and right now it's only about a 30% differential all of a sudden. And the back air?
He's not going to be able to do it
just
yet, but because Mr.E keeps on controlling this base platform, John doesn't have any landing options available to him. He has to resort to the ledge, and if that's his only getaway from Mr.E, it's very readable. He's going to be able to prepare his punishes time after time. However, with his feet back on the ground, not able to land the header, but John trying to reverse some of this momentum into his own favor.
Tries to go for the down air spike. I respect it.
Yeah, get it to end nice and early. Not going to get quite yet. Both players returning to their stages. However, an unfortunate landing is going to be punished with a nicely charged down smash.
Yeah, that was really, really pretty good reactions from JohnNumbers there. And not just reactions, but also the option select right here. He could have just elected to do an F-tilt or some other move that would have covered both sides, but he knew that a down smash would have been able to kill, and he knew that no matter how far Mr.E was going to be able to drift, it was not going to be enough to get out of the way of that down smash. Very good awareness, very good reactions, very good choice, most importantly, from JohnNumbers. And we are running it over to Final Destination for the final game of the set. Is this best of three? Okay.
Everything's best of three.
Everything's best. Oh my god, I've never been to a Xeno.
Yeah, the pressure's on.
Oh my god.
Pressure cooks on real quick here. Get no Game 5 chances. And I'm going to have to agree with, John had a bit of an odd reaction to the Game 3 FD pick. I'm going to have to agree with it. Picking into a stage that is traditionally just juggles and edge guarding against the likes of JohnNumbers, really risky, but the prize that Mr.E can get out of this is being able to just non-stop build up lots of damage, tons of pressure, and maybe not even give John the opportunity to come back off the ledge if he keeps him there in the first place.
Well, you know the thing with a character like Wii Fit Trainer, man. It's going to be up to Mr.E to actually play the game that he wants to and get around like John's defenses, which is the hard part for Lucina in this matchup, because Wii Fit Trainer is not playing a fighting game. She's not playing a party game. She's playing an RTS. She's playing an RTS. She's just chilling back. She's getting her defenses, sort of like Pac-Man, if you would, which is obviously another character we see very often here with Sinji just taking out Mr. DeBuzz. But that Sun Salutation is not going to close it out just yet, and we are messing around off stage a little more. John, a little more spryly this game, now that I mentioned the RTS comment, actually. Looking a lot more in the fray, a little more of a slobber knocker, and it's a little awkward to try and get in the meat with Wii Fit Trainer, as her hitboxes are very, very awkward, but if executed properly, very powerful.
Yeah, we've seen John time and time again go for these very unorthodox-looking combos that string themselves together seamlessly, regardless of percentage. John having labbed out this character significantly and knowing that the up throw is going to be killing at that, sitting at a nice flat 100, and he's going to return to his ledge now that he has a bit of a lead ahead of him. But the Dancing Blade from Mr.E going to be sending John to the opposite side of the field, trying to contest this lead that he has.
Yeah, it's looking a little rougher for Mr.E right now. He's been fighting his heart out this entire set, but I think John, I think the .exe file might be loading up here. But that back air does finish it out, actually. Wow, that was actually kind of delayed. And it is anybody's game right now, folks. Completely even. Last stock. Loser of this will be sent to the depths of the losers bracket of XenoNinetyFive, which has the likes of Anti and Ralphie in it, so I don't want to go down there if I'm them. If I were either of these guys, I'd be fighting my heart out right now.
No, yeah, losers bracket is a slaughterhouse, so
yeah.
Both these players definitely looking to avoid it at all costs, and they're on their last lives here as they try to do so. Very small percentage lead sitting in favor of Mr.E as he pushes John to the edge just a little bit more It's about how well he can maintain this ledge and for how long, if he could really use this situation to build up enough percentage onto John to really force his hand. But John's just going to be leisurely walking to the opposite side. He gets a header ball down so he can have an active hitbox.
Yeah, it's all about just putting those. It's all about putting those volleyballs out there, man. Oh my God! I thought he was gonna land that. That would have been just a classic. Would have been a classic JohnNumbers. I forgot what is John in Spanish. I'm such a moron. Whatever. But yeah, it's all about getting those. It's all about getting those active hitboxes out for Wii Fit Trainer. Just getting like as many items out as you can, getting as many of those projectiles as you can. Because I mean, say what you will about Wii Fit Trainer and her like, oh, being a bad character and everything. Like, trust me, you haven't played JohnNumbers if you're really out here still saying that and not respecting the character. You're going to want to respect this guy. As Mr.E is actually doing plentiful right now. He does not want to overextend. He's at 101% against a Wii Fit Trainer with a fair amount of rage. He's got to be really careful if he wants to get this in right now, but this is where the Lucina pick comes into hand. This is where the spacing would not matter for him in the eyes of Mr.E. He's just going to want to get in, get that raw damage, and he can't overextend in the process. Otherwise, he will be sent to losers.
Mr.E doing a fantastic job of making sure not to overextend, keeping very set distance at this ledge. He knows not to chase John in these dire percentages. He's just trying to stay at his max distance, but an unfortunate roll read catching Mr.E, and the powered up forward tilt is going to be enough for John to take it 2-1 over Mr.E.
Good stuff to JohnNumbers. That was such a hard fought battle.
It always
from
is
Mr.
between these two.
I know it is, but it's like you saw what Mr.E was doing to this man during the first game. I mean, you saw like a lot of that. It really seemed like he had it dominant for the first, not even just first game, but the first, what am I going to say? Her first game and a half of this set, if you would. But John,